So thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight we have Abigail Banini. She likes to be called Abby. So we'll talk to her in a few minutes. And she is one of the designers scheduled to showcase for this year. But of course, you know what all that was about. And she will be here. Hold on, y'all can see my boxes. Not cool. Hold on, not cool. Did you see my boxes? What is going on? Oh, that's my heat brush. You all see. So just okay. So for those of you who are new to my interview style, it's very, very organic. Anything can happen. We can have mistakes. It just happens because it's life. So just know now that you're going to get over it. And so without further ado, and we're getting comments already. Awesome. Without further ado, I will bring Abigail, Abby, to the screen. Okay, let me see. See, I just talked about this, right? Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I did it. So this is Abigail, and oh my God, Abigail, you're getting all of these comments. So let's put them up on the
Oh,
screen. We have
okay.
Arthur Adiko. Amen to God be the glory. You
Hi,
will do
Mama.
great. I'm very proud of you. Um, to Blaine,
Ah,
you're welcome.
yes.
I am very excited for this.
Those are my sisters. Yay. Hi, Rian.
And then sirens. So expect, because where I live off of a main street, and
Right.
so the sirens come through, and it's kind of crazy. So I might mute myself out, or if you're talking and I ask you a question, you didn't get it, you finish responding, and I'm muted. That's why, because I'm trying to
No,
mute out the
no
back
problem.
noise.
No problem.
You got more fans. You're just so awesome. So
Hey.
now we have Owen McDonald, who's from Baltimore, my favorite. He said,
Hi, Owen.
"Hey." And then we have Anna. Did I pronounce her first name correct?
Yes.
Anna. Okay.
Hi, Hannah. Um,
Oh, this is so awesome. You're just so loved.
hey, Pooh.
So now let's start. I'll pay attention to the comments in the comments section, and what I'll do is I'll go off the screen when you're talking solo, but I'll present the questions. So let's start. So
Okay.
tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I have a question I want to ask you about your journey in the fashion industry. But first, let's talk a little bit about you. Tell them who you are, where you're from, and stop right there, and then we'll go into the next question.
All right, no problem. My name is Abigail Lordson Banini. I'm originally from Ghana, but I now reside in Baltimore, Maryland.
You can say more.
Oh,
If you want to talk
well,
about your family or your kids, you
uh,
can do that.
I live with my mom as of right now. I'm the only child. Um, I love colors. My favorite color actually is purple, the royal purple. That's like my favorite. But I love colors. So yeah.
Yay! So now, I have a question for you.
Hmm.
How did you? Oh, how do you describe your journey into the fashion industry?
Oh, I would say I felt like it's more sort of like a calling. I was in college, I think my second to third year, where I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to do because I was doing accounting. And to a certain point, I just felt like accounting wasn't for me. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what are some of the things that I was passionate about and what are some things that I love. And what I found out was that I found myself like doing things with my hands. Like I was making earrings, I was making necklaces, and my mom and some friends who see and they're like, "These are very beautiful." It's like, okay, maybe like I'm that creative. So then I started looking into like fabrics because I loved how like growing up, my dad and I would sew like a matching outfit. He has his like top, and then I have like my dress. Then we go to church together. So that was one thing that I fell in love with. So I decided, okay, since I'm creative, I can do something in with clothing. So my very first thing I started doing were actually covered earrings. and I'll wear them on campus. My friends would ask me about them, and I'm like, oh, I did it myself. And then it started from there to making like peplums, um, with a matching bow tie for the guy. So it's more so of his and hers. And I remember I went for like a fashion show, and one of the designers there, who is now like my friend, asked me a question. Was like, "Why don't you actually make clothes?" I was like, I'll think about it. But what she didn't know was that I actually was in the process of applying for fashion school. And when I was searching for what fashion school to go to, I actually came across Nick Veras. Nick Veras is one of the ambassadors for FIDM, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. And I'll watch his videos on how to sketch, how to drape, and like how to do some sewing skills. And then I was like, he kept mentioning FIDM, FIDM. I was like, okay, let me go and search up FIDM. Maybe there's one in New York. Um, I searched it up. I kept seeing LA, California, LA. I was like, okay, fine. Let me just ask for information just to know what I'm getting myself into. So the time of asking information to the time that I applied and got accepted was in the span of 1 month.
Wow.
Yes, was in the span of 1 month. And during that time, I was writing my midterm exams. And around then, I actually switched my major from accounting to marketing because I felt like marketing, you can use it in any industry that you want. So I was writing my midterm. I had to put together a portfolio within 1 week. My sketches by then were horrible. Okay, let me just tell you that when I sketched, the hips were so wide. I think I have some of like my old sketches here. The hips were so wide, the arms were skinny. I was like, oh Lord Jesus, I hope they I see the concept. And they got my portfolio, they called me immediately. And I remember how I got the acceptance message. It was like a live interview that we did on the phone. And I was sitting in my dorm room, living room, literally in the couch. And two of my friends were in the dining room. And after the call, they're like, "Oh, welcome to FIDM." I was like, "Say what?" I was super excited. After the call, I was jumping. I rolled on the floor. I was like, "Thank you, Jesus," because I didn't know like what I wanted to do after I graduated, and this was something that I was really passionate about. And when I was applying, one thing my mom asked me was, "Or am I going to stop my 4 year degree to go pursue?" I told her no. I'll make sure I complete it because I was already in my third year. So that was the thing. I completed my bachelor's, and literally I graduated in May. In July, I was in California to start my fashion school.
Wow.
It was that fast. I was like, okay.
I
And
mean, the
I
story.
actually had to pray about it. I had to pray about it, and I actually had a dream that was taking a measurement of a pastor, and I was like, okay, it's done. That's it.
That is so awesome. So your first day in class, were you nervous?
I was nervous, one, cause but then excited because I didn't know what was it? I didn't know what to expect, and the second thing was that before then I was self-taught. When I picked up the
Mhm.
sewing machine, nobody taught me how to thread a sewing machine. No one taught me how to sew a straight stitch. I did that all like with kind of like working around it. But growing up, I remember my grandma had one of these old sewing machines where like you use your hand to
Mhm.
turn
Mhm.
it,
Mhm.
and she wouldn't allow me to touch it. But then, because she was scared that I would sew a needle through my fingers, so
Oh.
she wouldn't allow me to touch it at all. But then, years down, before I came to the state, my mom got me like this really cute sewing machine, and I think I used it like once or twice, and that was like the end of it. I was like, okay, maybe there's something here.
So what was the first thing that you constructed with the little sewing machine your mom gave you?
Oh, the first thing I did was a bow tie because the first
A
bow tie,
bow tie.
a bow tie, yeah. Because the first bow tie I made, I used a glue gun, and it took me hours, and I was like, no. I was like, no, I'm not doing this for hours just to give to somebody. So then I was like, let me just grab the sewing machine and then get to work.
So what was after you went to school, you started school, you had your first day of class. What was
Right.
one of the most challenging subjects that you had to take?
Oh, that was the science of fabric. Because I was, I'm the kind of person, I'm not a science student. So us trying to figure out the chemicals in the fabric, we had to figure out like the yarn size, we have to burn some of the like the strands in the fabric to figure out whether it's cotton, whether it's neon, what whether it's lycra or polyester. Like it was just a lot, but I passed that class and I was happy.
So you had to actually take a garment, pull the
Right.
strings out, and figure what
Yeah,
fiber
we
it was.
actually had to get like like a piece of fabric
Hmm.
where we'll take it out and then burn like a tip of it. I think I have the book here. Give me a second, let me show you.
Okay. So we're taking a brief station break while Abby took. I feel like Gail King right now, y'all. Oh, I feel like Gail King. I'm humming for y'all because I don't know the words to anything.
Okay.
And she's back.
I'm back.
You missed my singing. I was singing for you.
Oh, I heard it. I was right
Okay.
here.
I will not give up my day job. I will not. Okay. Did you
So
get
we
the
had to
sketches?
get
Abby, do you have the sketches? I want to see your.
on my own sketches. I do. Let me get that too.
So Abby's getting her own sketches. I want to see these arms that she said she drew because I saw her sketches for Baltimore Fashion Week and they were fabulous. So I want to see this
How
pre-fabulosity
do we
stage.
go from this to the one I showed you for Fashion Week?
Oh,
Like
you know
hilarious.
what? We all have to start somewhere. We
Look
all
at
have to
that.
start somewhere. I don't think they're bad. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but then
Okay. All
okay,
right. I see the challenging moments there. But look where you came from then to now.
right.
I mean, look at
Oh,
the
this
people.
this is the horrible arm I was talking about.
Oh, okay. So you're in steps. We see that. Maybe you were thinking of me when you drew that. I don't know. That's more of a trick for me. I don't know. I didn't know you back then, so I don't know.
Yeah, so that was like from there to the ones that I showed you for Baltimore Fashion Week. I was like, whew, improved. But one of the advantages or one of the things that I loved with going to fashion school was the ability to actually also do the sketches on in what's it called? Adobe
Mm,
Illustrator. We had
hmm.
to take some of those classes to kind of like learn how to do that. Because when you're in the industry, they're actually using Adobe to do their sketches more than hand sketching.
So is that when the CAD drawing comes in?
Hmm.
Oh, and that's through Illustrator?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know it was through Illustrator. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
So you don't use so now when you create your collection, do you use CAD drawing or do you use the CAD drawing croquis?
I used I got like a sketchbook that already has the croquis in it, so that
Hmm.
it kind of like minimize the amount of time it'll take me to sketch. So
Oh,
I
okay.
just sketch the garment on the croquis. But
Hmm.
because the croquis is very like light, you can't really see it
Hmm.
underneath. Like when you make a copy of it, you can't really see the croquis, you only see the garment. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could. I tried to. One day I thought I wanted to be a designer, and that quickly ended really quickly because I couldn't draw on a croquis, and that figure was in the background, and it just ruined everything for me.
Right.
Um, oh,
Okay.
do you make suits? Do you make suits for larger gentlemen or plus size people? Big and
Um,
tall or fabulous and full like me?
I didn't get to the suit stage. Actually, um, when I finished my program with FIDM, I decided to take some classes for menswear at the tech school in LA. Why am I forgetting the name of the school? But it's a technical school in California. So I took some menswear classes there. That's why I knew how to make like some men's patterns, how to make men's pants and tops, and I even know how to make their vests. It was when I got to the class where they teach how to make the suit. That's when I moved back to Maryland. But I didn't get to finish the program, but I got the basics. If I want to like make a suit, I can actually like after figuring out with the muslin here and there, give me probably like a couple of days. I can probably whip up something.
Well, I know during your lineup, I think you had three males listed in your
Five.
mom. Five. Oh,
Yeah.
she corrects me. I stand corrected. She has five models that will be walking for her in her collection for Fashion Week. And I don't know how you do it. I saw your collection and it was, before one thing about me is that I don't need to really see, like if I see a garment that you've constructed from
Mhm.
a previous collection, I can already tell your design and style aesthetic, so I don't need to see a complete collection.
Mhm.
But what I saw that you showed me during our review process was absolutely gorgeous. And I
Right.
want to I want to talk about that item behind you. And I want to know what size it is. Please tell me my size.
If you see
Don't
it,
be
tell
more
me.
small. Don't be.
You know, it's one of the garment actually for Baltimore Fashion Week. So,
Oh, that one right there.
yes.
I still want to see it. So you got to show. Let me move myself up the screen. So
All right.
show us the dress. That
So,
one is fire. The pleats, the all of that.
right. For the this blue part, I actually draped it. I
Oh,
actually,
draping. Okay. See, I
yeah.
stand to be corrected, y'all. Okay.
Right. I actually
I'm
draped.
the I'm the student and not the teacher. Go ahead.
Okay. And it's more like a ball gown. And
Mm-hmm.
if I turn it to the side, you see like a lift up here.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
like straight. I intentionally made it that way so that I can have like a little hookiness in the front. And the sleeve, when you wear it, you actually like pull it up. It gives like the balloon
Oh, okay.
uh,
Okay.
that that actually not attached to the shoulder yet. So pull it up.
And can you show us the back of the dress?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful.
there you
How long does it take you to make a dress like that?
go. If I'm not going anywhere, it probably take me like a day, like a full day.
Wow.
Yeah. If I'm
So
not going anywhere.
I'm sorry, how did you come up with the idea with the denim? Because that's a unique pattern combination, but I really, really like it.
Yeah.
And I like that the sleeves balloon. So it's a quarter seam. It goes right here on your
Yeah, it's
arm.
probably like end.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a three-quarter sleeve. Yeah. Um,
So
I
that
looked
that
at
will
the
not fit
fabric.
me. So
I
that will
looked.
not fit me. She see how she gave me question?
No, this is more so of like a medium.
It will not
And
fit me, ladies and gentlemen.
this
As
is a
I close
medium
my
because I
eyes.
extended my mannequin. The mannequin is from a small to a medium, so I extended it to the fullest. So that's like a medium.
When you get a
Um,
lot of who is caveat? Caveat. I'm being nosy now. See? Oh no, wait a minute. The comments are coming in left and right. Honey. You are bringing the comments today. They are loving
yes.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Oh my
you.
God. I
Thank
had to stop
thank
because I
you,
can't keep up with you. It's just so many. Oh my God. And somebody said it takes them 5 hours to fix one button. And it takes 3 days to press. Oh my God. So you have your first, and look, from the
Oh, that's
feed,
my cousin.
well,
I
from the
forgot.
feed, when you go back and review the feed, when this is all over, you'll see you have about 3 male clients,
Oh,
possible male clients that are looking for a suit. Um,
okay, no problem.
and then Charlotte says she's going to lose some weight just so she can fit in your dress. So you got a lot of plus size women on this feed. You need to
Okay, I guess
supply demand, supply demand.
I can make it in any size.
That's the right
Right.
answer. That's the answer you
Yes,
should, as a designer.
I can make
That's
it in any
something you
size.
should always have.
As
I
far
can
as
make
you
it
feel
any size.
comfortable and confident in yourself, that is all that matters. Because I'm always like aiming for confidence. When you wear a garment, you have to feel confident in yourself. Because when you're confident, you're happy and it shows. Immediately you walk into a room, you don't have to like say anything, but people know that somebody with some confidence just walked up into the room. So yeah, there's more of like making you stand out and confident once you're wearing a garment.
Okay, I had to switch angles here. Sorry,
No
because I was
problem.
getting on my nerves. Hi, so I'm on this side now. I'm looking directly at you. I don't look like I'm some crazy woman looking to my left.
Yeah. Oh, and back to the question you asked, like, what was one of the courses that had problems, like that was difficult for me?
Yes.
But this this picture right here, right?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I did something wrong. There you go.
This picture right here. Basically, what we did is we take a piece of fabric like this, like this piece, like this piece of fabric, and we take out like one, like this few yarns, and then we put it under a microscope.
Oh, you put on the
And
microscope.
yeah,
Okay.
and that gives you this. Just so you want to see how smooth, like the smoothness of the shells will tell you what material it is, or like what fiber it is. So how you see like this one, the yarn is very smooth. So that shows you that it's a polyester. And
So
this
when
and
would
this
you
one is
ever
very bumpy, like the bump in it, and that's a neon.
So when will you ever need to use this process? Because the way the materials are today, they're already blended for you. So how important is that process or technique to you and what you do for your brand?
It's important because when you want to know how the care of the garment. So
Oh,
if like make a garment for someone, you want to know, okay, if there's this fiber in the in the fabric, this is how the person has to take care of the garment. Because you don't want to overwash a cotton fabric because over time it will fade out. And
oh.
right, and there are some fabrics that like you can only hand wash, and there's some you dry clean, and there are some you can wash in the washer, but there's a type of temperature that you go with. So all of that comes into the care of the garment and how long the garment can last.
So for clothes that are made today,
Mhm.
that they put in retail stores and sell, how long do you give it life? What's the life cycle that you give to these garments that are made today
Um,
that aren't made with the type of technique you learned?
those garments, I'll say, if you wear it constantly, give it 6 months. That is how they've made it to be because it's fast fashion, and every 6 months they're coming out with something. It's not even every 6 months, every 3 months they are producing something. Because after I graduated, I worked with one of actually two of the manufacturing companies um in California before I moved back here as a tech designer. And the thing that people don't know is that one garment, before you even wear it, it has probably passed through the hands of like 10 to 15, 20 people before it gets to you. because you pass to the hand of the designer, the one who will actually sketch it, and then tell the tech designer what they actually want. Then the tech designer creates the tech pack and everything, then send it to the sample maker. That's when the sample maker will make a sample of it. They'll fit it on the model and see how it fit. If they don't like the fit, they make changes. If they like it, then it goes to production. Then production makes another sample, brings it back, gets approved before the full production is done.
So when you say they put it on a model, they use a human being or a
Yeah,
man?
human being. They have like a live model. They always have like a fit in where like a live model comes in, tries it on. They pin the clothes on the model, and they have like safety pins to make changes on the model. And then they sometimes they ask the model the feedback, like how comfortable do you feel in this? Is it this tight? Is this okay? And from there, then they create a tech pack, which um, in the fashion industry they call the tech pack the Bible of the garment,
Oh, okay.
because that is what will go to production, and anyone touching the garment has to look in the tech pack to see what is to be done. Because in a tech pack you have like the measurements, the points of measurement, like from this shoulder to this shoulder, how many inches, the neck from right here to where it drops, how many inches, from here to the hem, how many inches it is, the sleeve is a it's a long process. I don't know.
So so a tech pack and a line sheet are two different things, correct?
Yeah, two different things. Yes,
Okay.
they're completely two different things.
Are you going to show us one of your tech packs?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can have one.
Girl, you are
I'm
in
trying to see
it.
if I have one
You
here.
are so in it. I need you to give us all you got. You better get it all to us. We are all
No
here for
problem. Let me get one for you.
it. Okay, I won't sing y'all because I don't think
Okay.
Abby likes my songs.
All
And
right.
she's back.
This is a portfolio that I made um in my last class before I graduated. Um, so these were like some of the pieces that I started sewing before I went into garment making.
Okay.
Yeah. And let me show you the tech pack. Okay. So the first thing in the tech pack is this.
Oh, nice.
So so this one is this is one of the pages in the tech pack. So this you're telling them what like what trim to use, like this what's it
Hmm.
called? This you're telling them exactly what trim to use. You add a picture and add the description in the bottom. And then here, this is where the points of measurements are.
Oh,
Very
okay.
blurry. Yeah. And it's from like extra, no, this is from size 2 to size 18.
Oh, so for each size, you have to provide all of the required measurements so they
Yeah.
can do it at the warehouse.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, the manufacturer, not the warehouse.
Yeah. And also like in the side over here, it tells you what's like the tolerance difference. So when you take a measurement, if size 2 waist says 11, and you measure the sample that the factory makes, and they're like 11 and a quarter, you can still approve it because the tolerance is half inch. If they're half inch or 3/4 away from 11 inches, you tell them to go back to the point of measurement because it makes the garment different from what you actually envision.
Wow.
Yeah, this
I,
was this is all that you do. And when you also after you take the measurement, you include pictures
right.
of
Okay.
what where the points of measurement are, where they should take the measurement from. There's the pictures. Okay, so here is more so the crotch depth right here, the width of the waistband, and this is showing you where to measure the waist, where to measure the inseam of the pant, the outseam, the thigh. So yeah, it's okay. Let me
Oh,
see.
read this. Read this. I would never disrespect any clothing again. So much work goes into
Oh
them.
yeah,
So, wait, wait, wait.
it takes about 9 months for what you're wanting to be produced.
So now, so like I have this conversation all the time with designers who participate in Fashion Week when it comes to pricing. So
Right,
some of them are afraid, like, oh, I don't want to charge this much. And my response to them is, okay, you have to put, and just like when I do my arts and craft, my customization stuff I do
right.
here under Dragon Media. That was a shameless plug, Dragon Media Production Joe. Just not sure I can do what I want. But anyway,
That's
back
fun.
to Abby.
It's your
Back
show.
to Abby. So, I think that when people, especially clients or future clients, when they purchase from a designer, I know I can usually tell, like, if I want to get something custom made, like, okay, I know I need to go in the door with at least maybe $300.
Right,
That might be just a deposit for a
right.
dress because I can be outside the box sometimes and kind of crazy. But and with the craziness and the outside of the box thinking comes dollar signs.
Mhm.
And it's usually three numbers before the decimal point.
Right.
And you just need to be prepared to pay that. And being a private or not a private, but an independent designer,
Hmm.
now we see, and I've always understood it, but now hopefully others will understand the price points.
Right.
So I don't want you to give away your secrets, but how hard is it for you to price a garment?
It's
So wait a minute, before you
okay.
answer. So forget that I do Baltimore Fashion Week.
Right.
Forget that. And by the way, I'm Sharon Nixon. How y'all doing? Forget that. So I come to you, I say, oh my God, Abby, I want that dress. Oh my God, how much is it? How long does it take you? And you don't have to give me a price.
Hmm.
How long? Because I think prices are driven by the client. That's my take on it.
Right.
Um, so how long would it take for you to give me a price for that garment without actually sitting down going through? And do you still
Mhm.
use tech packs when you create your garments?
Um, when I'm creating my garment, when I'm doing it by myself, I don't use tech pack, but sometimes I create patterns for it. That is if it's a style that I want to see how intricate or like how the sewing goes. I actually want to see it on paper before I cut the fabric because fabrics are expensive. I'm not trying to waste nobody's fabric. So I want to see it on paper, see it in the muslin before I actually touch the person's fabric. But when it comes to pricing, I actually look at what the design is. The design that the customer or the client is looking for will determine the price. If it's very detailed and it's gonna take a lot of time to make, that higher the price. If it's not detailed and it's not going to take that much time to make, the lower the price. And it also sometimes I ask my client, do you want to like how do I call it, the clean finish look, because clean finish look also take time. If you want to get that look where like okay you walk into a designer store to buy, then that one takes a lot of time. If you want to look like okay you just walk into let's say Neiman Marcus or Macy's to buy, then that one too is the price tag is also there. So it all depends on what the customer is willing to pay for what they for this for the style that they are looking for. And it how do I say it? Not like willing to pay, but I'll tell you what I'll charge for it. But then you tell me, okay, this is not like the amount I'm telling you is not what you have, then we can look at some alternate. Okay, what fabric are you using? If the fabric is hard to work with, that one also counts. Because if let's say there's one fabric, oh, what's it called? Velvet. Velvet fabric is hard to work with. Besides velvet, the other fabric that is hard to work with is chiffon. Like cutting and sewing those fabrics is like, ugh, I try not to even venture through that line. So you probably see less of those in my stuff.
So why is it that the so Okay, so now I'm dabbling into my production
No problem.
line here. So you have three, not three, but you have different variations
Hmm.
of finishings that you do for a client.
There are two variations.
Oh, two. Okay.
Yeah. If a client does not mind the finishing in the garment,
Okay. Oh,
and the
okay.
client just, yeah, if they don't mind the finishing in the garment and they just want something fast that they can just wear one time,
Oh,
that's it. And I'm like, okay, all right. Then that means I'm not gonna waste a lot of time doing the clean finishing and doing the extra
well, wait a
stitches
minute,
and all that.
baby. I need to stop you. I need to stop you. I'm sorry. I would not be me. I would not be me if I did.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
I,
right.
I'm I'm the kind of person who like I like clean finishing. So it's like when you come to me, that is what you're gonna get.
Yes.
So
Never, never, ever. So let me tell you what they do on the
mhm,
streets. I'm gonna tell you what they do on the streets. So
right,
somebody comes to you, they go into a prom, they realize that they just got selected to be somebody's date 2 weeks
right.
ago. Now they say, oh my God, call Abby, my girl will hook you up. So they go to Abby, Abby gives them this bomb gown, and
Mhm.
then they flip it inside out because now they're going to the club and they see the seams aren't right. That I got no.
I don't like those.
Always
I
get
don't like those.
so don't
I,
wait from this. But okay, so
right.
all y'all on here heard Abby. Me tell Abby that she's not ever giving up unclean food.
No, no.
Your price is your price. Your price, either they pay it or
Right,
they don't.
right.
That's your time. You got
Mm-hmm.
schooling behind you. You
Yeah.
got New York. You got California. You know how to pull fibers under microscope. You
Mm-hmm.
know your what is it, the paper with the
Next tag.
measurement. Yeah, you're
Next tag.
right. You got all that. So your price is valid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm serious. There's so many
Right.
people out here who call themselves designers
Mm-hmm.
and they can't even get past me. And I'm
Right.
not, I'm nobody really, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean I am, but
Yeah.
they just like, no, you're not. If you can't answer these minimal questions that
Mm-hmm.
I have,
Right.
you can't get in. And I
I
think
remember one time my mom was asking me how much I charge to make like a top and a skirt for someone. And
what
I
is
told her and I told her how much I charge and she was like, what? That's too expensive. I'm like, school wasn't cheap.
Mama needs to understand your time is money. And I've seen your work, I've seen your collections, I've
Right.
seen your drawings. I'm listening to you now, and I'm don't belittle, don't don't
Yeah.
reduce your talent. Don't.
Right.
It is what it is, and either they can afford it. I tell Reginald, right?
Right.
Reginald Wilson,
Yeah.
Levenson. We have this argument all the time
Yeah.
because he doesn't wanna he's like, oh, I don't think I should. Well, then just make stuff and keep it in your closet. They have to learn. People need to learn that when you're going
The,
to an independent designer, whether they have a storefront or not, whether they're
yeah.
selling on Instagram or website, you're paying for their time.
The thing that people don't understand when they come to like an independent designer compared to like in a store is that the companies that do mass production, they get a price reduction because they're doing bulk of it.
Right.
You understand? So when you're doing bulk, sorry, when you're doing bulk, the price of each garment is less. But when they go into making like a sample garment, sometimes they spend about 2,000 on just a sample garment for
Yeah.
these designers. That they spend about 2,000 on a sample garment in the hopes that when they go into mass production, the price will be reduced, and that's how they'll make up for that 2,000 in the sample
Right.
garment because it takes a lot of time
Hmm.
for the sample garment to be made. And if they come to like an independent designer, they're expecting that whatever they get with an independent design, like they get the same quality, but they want the store price. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't give you that.
I'm so
If you
glad
want
you.
the store
I'm
price, then go to
I'm
the
sorry. I
store.
know.
If you want the store price, then just go to the store and get it. You know?
So someone put up a comment. I'll put it on the screen. What about the friends and family discount?
Oh, child.
Right, that's a whole nother interview. We won't
It's
even.
No, I don't want
Girl,
to. I don't want to even double into that. Friends and family discount, Lord Jesus. One person once told me friends and family discount will break a business.
it'll break a family,
Right.
a business
So
in the family.
so one thing someone taught me that I'm trying to put into practice is when you are charging a family or a friend, you charge them as a business and not as you.
Right.
It's like, okay, you own my business this amount. You're not owing me. It's my business that you're owning. So that's something like I'm trying to put into practice because sometimes they come to you and be like, oh, you're my sister, you know. But then I'm like, yeah, but I still gotta pay light. I still got like the sewing machine wasn't free. The thread wasn't free. you know? Yeah.
I
It's,
mean, I think it's a terminology that people use loosely because they don't want to pay full price. So
right.
my son, I just interviewed him before our interview,
Mm-hmm.
and for those of you who didn't know that that's my son, he has a pearl line, and I
Gig,
pay.
a gig too.
I don't get any discount, and I gave birth to the child. I don't get any discount. But
You
what
get
I
uh,
told him was when he started, no
mhm.
one gets a discount.
Right.
You'll never make money that way by giving people discounts. And
Right.
so he ran with it. And to this day, I'm paying for my own shirts.
Right.
But yeah, let's see if we have any questions.
Any
Let's
questions,
see.
people?
Okay, facts, times, resources, and expertise.
Yes, Hadassah.
Yes.
Yes.
So where in Ghana are you from?
Um, I'm actually from two different tribes. My dad is Ewe, and my mom is Ada.
Okay.
Yeah, but I grew up in the city, which is Accra. So
Okay.
but the most notorious neighborhood you can ever think of. That was the neighborhood I grew up in. They're very notorious. When you mention that neighborhood name, people know okay, not to not to even try it.
So how long was the transition from Ghana to the US?
I came here when I was 14, going 15. Or yeah.
Oh,
I
you were
think
young. Okay.
yeah, I think 14 or 15. That was when I came. It was 15 going 16 years. I remember because we celebrated 16 birthday together. Yeah.
So they said Iwi tribe in the building. Oh, awesome.
As but
Okay, so here's a question. Um, what inspired you to become a fashion designer?
what inspired me most is being able to dress a woman or a client to feel confident and comfortable in themselves. Um, we all have insecurities. Like some, it could be your arm, it could be your stomach, it could be your thigh, whatever it is. But I want to dress a woman where she can feel comfortable and confident in loving the flaws that she has. Like, for instance, let's say I for me, I know like my shoulder sometimes can be what's it called? I don't know, probably broad. But then I've gone to a point where like I've fallen in love with my shoulders that when I make something for myself, I do like either no sleeve at all or like an off shoulder. But when I sew for a client, I always ask them what is something that you're not comfortable with that you want to cover. And then we'll find a beautiful way to cover it, but not um but make it comfortable for you.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with clients? Because for a long time I had that low, really low self-esteem. Like it was under this building, very deep, deep, very low. How do you deal with clients that come to you that want to change that, but
That one it changed, yeah.
they
So
want to change from being, they have low self-esteem, like, oh, I want to just do this. How do you work with that client to get them out of that shell?
Well, sometimes as a designer, you can. Sometimes you also act as a therapist. I don't know if I'm making sense, but you before like I design for anyone in terms of like let's say they're going for like an event or anything like that. I first ask them, okay, what is your style? What is something that you're comfortable with? Why are you not comfortable with that? And why don't you love that about yourself? And then we kind of talk about it and then kind of encourage the person to love themselves more, because if you don't love yourself, how is someone else going to love you? If you don't love yourself with all your flaws, if someone talk about your flaws, you become insecure. So like with that insecurity, for me, at some point it was more so of my legs that I was insecure about. But then I was like, okay, you know what? I'll make me a dress and show my leg. Okay. And then I started getting compliments for my leg, like, oh, your leg is beautiful. I was like, okay. So it's more so for, I always tell like my client that told me something that they're insecure about. I know one time one told me that they're insecure about their arm, and I told them, listen, your arm is beautiful. Someone might not like it, but somebody out there thinks it's beautiful. So far as you see it as beautiful and you're comfortable showing it off, regardless of who says it's not beautiful, just know in your mind you're beautiful.
And have you ever had a difficult client? Oh, you know what? Should we talk about that off the air?
Oh,
I don't want to
um,
sprinkle any shade, but honey, let's pour it. Let's pour
there'll be times where you have like difficult clients to work with, where they want one thing and then they change their mind at some point, or then they text you or say, oh, can you add this, or oh, can you do this to it? I'm like, okay, can we make up our mind before I start cutting into this fabric? Because if I start, we might not be able to make any changes. So I always tell them, um when like we go through like the sketching and what they tell me they want, like I first ask them, what do you want in the style? Do you want a pocket? Do you want a zip? Do you want buttons? What do you want? So you tell me exactly what you want, and then I'll figure out a way to incorporate it in the style, so that way we are not going back and forth. So it's more so you tell me what you want, you put in a design, you approve it. When I make the garment, you come and fit it the first time. And then after you fit it, whatever changes needs to be made, we can make those changes. But I try to limit myself to two changes, right? Like we make let's say you fit it one time, we change it, we make changes, or like we make adjustment, you try it again, and then if you make adjustment the next time, then that's it.
So
You can
do you also do you have your client sign a contract?
actually I'm about to start having them do that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
I'm
You
about I'm about to start having them do that, to be honest.
this is me
I know.
shaking you.
I know. I'm about to have them start signing contracts because, yeah, I'm trying to put things together because right now I'm a one woman show, but I do have support. So
Well, good.
I'm trying to build a team together. I know my intern is on watching right now. Hi, Victoria. um, Yeah, and I have some friends who are helping me. One friend of mine who I went to school with, he's called Sam. He's also building his brand. So we sometimes talk, we brainstorm and all of that. And then we kind of work together in terms of, oh, okay, these are the people that he has on his team. And I asked him, oh, do you have anyone who is able to do this? So right now I'm actually like building my team. I'm looking for a social media rep right now because with my busy schedule, I cannot handle my social media. So I need someone to do that for me. And yeah, I'm trying to put everything together because by the end of this year, that's what I'm hoping, that everything is set and rolling and gone.
Okay, so make sure that everybody in your team signs a
That's the con.
confidentiality.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Love you even more.
Thank you. Yeah,
Because
that is very,
I,
very important.
I don't know if you've experienced this yet, but I know for me, it's like, oh yeah, rah rah rah, go Sharon.
Mhm.
And then as soon as you say, okay, well, I need you to sign this
And it
non-disclosure, and
they
then it's
go
like
back.
they tell on you, like, yo, what are you doing? We're
Mm-mm.
still cool, right? We're still going to get that coffee. No, we're not now. Okay, that's
Uh-uh.
so you
And
know
that is how you know who is really for you and who is really just
this part,
there.
bam, bam. There you go.
Or who
There
is
you
really
go.
just there to get the accolades.
There you go. So you had a question. Matter of fact, you have two. You might have three. Um, how do you deal with customers who make clothes? We already talked about that. How you change
Mhm.
clothes. Okay, but there was another question about before that. No, that's fashion designer. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh wow, you got a few. Okay, let's do this one. What about the commercializing of African styles and culture by non-African companies? How do you feel about that?
Do you really want to go in there?
Yes,
Um,
we do.
okay. Um, it's
But
I'm happy that
wait a minute.
yeah.
Before you answer,
Hmm.
if you think your response
Hmm.
will render ill feelings towards you, then don't. Because
Okay.
some questions are can need should I think should be responded to offline, and
Right.
I don't want you to get any backlash.
Right.
If you don't feel
Okay.
comfortable answering it, then don't.
I'm comfortable.
Okay,
I'm actually happy that people are recognizing our fabric and our style like lately. I think for the past couple of years. But what actually sometimes make me sad is that when one of these like big designers, I'm not gonna call any designer name because we're not about to do that on here. But when they take like an aspect of like our design or fabric or like a style in and create it into their collection, it would be nice to kind of make reference that, oh, this is from like this reference is from Africa or something, or I'm inspired by this African culture or something like that, so we can get um our, how do I say, our custom out there, so people know that, hey, we are just as human as you guys. We are just as passionate about our culture as you guys are passionate about your country. So for me, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, yay, it's cute, but how did you come up with it? You know?
so we have another question. That's interesting because I watch a lot of shows online and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's cute. But where did you get that idea from? And I'm
Mhm.
not calling any names of any brands, but
Right.
you know,
But then sometimes when you go back and look at it, what they had done, one struggling designer probably did it somewhere that they saw, and they're now bringing it up. So now people will look at them and they think they're the one that started with the design, and now they'll look at the other like struggling designer that, oh, she copied from this designer, but
exactly.
probably the opposite way
And so that's why during our review process, I don't know if you remember, I sent out before we met the first time, I said all
around.
sketches must be dated and signed.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why not force, but I strongly encourage that designers do that because that just happened. I think it was it H&M or Jeremy Scott, somebody. I
Yeah.
love Jeremy Scott, so I pray that he didn't do this. Like H&M, some brand, they met with a designer and they actually took his idea and ran with it, and he couldn't do anything about it, which is pretty sad. But he didn't date and sign his sketches.
That's crazy.
So you have another question. Okay, hold on. What advice would you give to someone aspiring to become a fashion designer like you?
Okay. Us, it's all about passion. you have to be passionate about what you want to do. That's one. And two, because sometimes it's going to get difficult and you want to give up. But so far as you're passionate about and you know this is what you love to do, you're not going to give up on yourself, even if it means sacrificing your sleep. Um, I also say, what is it called? Put in the time, like put in the time, put in the effort, and always be open to learning things. Be open to learning things because the fashion industry is always changing by a snip of a finger. So always be open, always do your research in terms of what is in trend, what colors are in trend, what style is in trend, and you can also do your research ahead of time. Whenever you're coming up with like a design or something, do your research ahead of time because nowadays you have trends that are out 2 years in advance. We're in 2020, I can pull up a trend that is 2022 that will help me kind of plan what I'm doing. So I always say planning, 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 plan, 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 plan. I cannot say that enough. Plan and always write down your ideas and what you're thinking. And one other thing is always think of how what you're designing is one wearable and two, um, how do I say it? How it is solving someone's problem. If I don't know if I'm making sense with that. Where how do I make sense of this?
Just say it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, in terms of like let's say if you're making a garment like if you're designing, I know what's it called? Levinson said this during his interview. Always have the mindset of solving an issue
Right.
where 15% of what you're doing is just the sketch.
Right.
75% of it is figuring out how this garment will work and
Right.
how putting it together will work and zipping it, wearing it, if the client is moving left to right, bending over and all of that, how it's still going to be intact. That's literally 75%. Because sometimes when I design, I can show you a sketch, but the finished product is probably slightly different from the sketch I just had. Because whilst I'm designing, I'm changing things to make sure it fits right. So always plan, have passion, and have a support system.
So you
And
have. I'm sorry. Were you done? That was rude of me. Continue.
I'm done. You're good. I'm done.
I told y'all in the beginning anything liable to happen. I, I told y'all in the beginning anything can happen on these interviews, honey.
Mhm.
Anything. So Rhonda,
All right.
one of the designers for next year said, "I love, love, love African fashion. We are naturally flamboyant people.
Yeah.
We love to
Yeah.
be seen. This is why I love Africa."
Yeah.
And then you have a question: is designing something you can work on, like a skill, or is it just a talent? Either you're born with it or not.
I'll say it's both. It's both a skill that you can learn and a talent that you're born with. You can have someone who is talented to design, but if the person hasn't put in the work in learning new skills, they're probably not going to get to the level of someone who is not talented but actually put in the work. Because just like I said earlier, designs are changing, like everything is changing with a snip of a finger. So if you miss like the how do I say, if you miss the mark, then you have to move on to the next thing. So you have to always like train yourself, always be learning new things. Even if you're talented, you always have to be learning new things because you cannot, like, let's say you're talented, yes, but you're not learning new skills. You're not training yourself. You're not teaching yourself things, or you're not learning, researching, okay, what is going on in the industry. And you're still making the same style or the same garment that you made for people in like 2010. whilst we're in 2020. That's 10 years. Like, you can't be
The
making
change is
the same
real
style
quickly.
whilst you're in, from 2010 and we're in 2020. The styles have changed. You understand? So if you want to still be making those styles from 2010, you also have to learn how to, okay, modify it, what to take out, what to add in to make it 2020 work. Yeah.
There was a little bit of shade, and I loved it. Um, there was a lot of me just like sir. So you had two questions from two different people. One from Charlotte's Living World and Ambrose
I
Lordson
found it.
Banini. They want to know how
Yes.
your collection or your designs contribute to society.
Okay. One thing that I don't mention this a lot because it's something that I'm working on in the background, where um the one thing I'm passionate about is women who have gone through domestic violence. And one of the plans that I have is down the line have like an organization where these women who have gone through this abuse are coming out or don't know how to start their life to back up again. Some of these women were dependent on who their abusers were. So now it's more so of trying to find their way out. So I want to create like a organization where we can teach them some of the skills that we know, where if you want to take that skills and go ahead to also start your journey to become a designer, that's great. But in the process, kind of provide you that therapy help and all the other skills that you can learn. If it's you don't necessarily have to just be a garment designer. You can be a basket weaver. You can be a soap designer. So whatever passion that the survivor, I don't want to say victim, the survivor is passionate about or want to learn, you'll be able to provide that to them so that they can how do I say, they can go out there and start living their life and not feeling like they're still a victim because they're a survivor, they're still alive. So that's one thing that I'm passionate about, I really want to do in the future.
Nice. Okay, I like that. I like. I'm not just saying that like, oh, she has nothing to say.
Right.
No, I really do like it. I like the
Right.
mission behind it. That's really cool. You have another question. It says it's from Imes. I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. If I'm not, then please forgive me. Every piece is a reflection of the designer. So, what do you want each of your pieces to say about you? And then he has another question, which is the same question I tell people all the time. But then he or she
Mhm.
doesn't fashion recycle. I say yes. I don't
Yeah,
even follow the trends. I
fashion
do what I want.
recycles.
Okay.
But everything in my one of my teacher in school always said this, that everything you see in fashion has already been there.
Right.
So it's just being recycled in a new different way. But there's nothing new in fashion. Everything is just being recycled. But every designer is putting their own twist on what is already there. Your pencil skirt is not going anywhere,
Whew,
right?
girl. I hope not.
Pencil
You
skirt is
keep
not
bringing
going
it back.
anywhere.
Even if you do,
But
I'm gonna
whatever,
keep bringing it back.
but a designer can decide to take a pencil skirt and tweak it in a different, like a whole new design. And you think, ooh, I haven't seen that design before, but you've seen a pencil skirt before, you know? So it's recycled. And you see some designers take references from the 1980s, the 1960s, and then put their own twist on it and make it their new collection in 2020 or 2021 or 2018 or 2019. So it's always recycled.
So I have a formula that I want to present to you, and you have to give me the answer. And there's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
Whatever you say the answer is, that's what it is.
Okay.
Trend plus
Mm-hmm.
style equals
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm.
I
Brand.
told y'all I'm good at this. Gail, you watch,
You got me thinking right there.
right?
Brand plus style equals. Hmm. I want to say legacy. And that's the first word that came to mind. Um, because if let's say if you take each brand that is out there right now, like DSF, I
Uh-huh.
hope I'm pronouncing it well. Um, Davan, uh, I, I think I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Please
Diane
forgive
von
me.
Furstenberg.
Yes,
You're welcome.
hers was the wrap dress.
Okay.
Hers was the wrap dress,
Yes.
right? So if you see a wrap dress somewhere, you know that that is her statement. So that is her style and the brand. So with that, she built a legacy for herself. No one can
Mhm.
see her gown and say, okay, this is not it. It's not for her. You understand? So um yeah, I think legacy.
And
I don't know.
what will your legacy be? Or what do you want it to be? How do you
I want
describe it?
I want to describe my legacy as um classy but sexy. Yes.
I love it.
Classy but sexy. You don't have to show off all your body parts to be sexy.
Fist pump. Wait a minute, let me get in front of the camera. Fist pump. There you go. Okay. Okay.
You can be all covered up and still look sexy. It's all how you do it. You cannot there's one formula that I learned is that if you're showing your top part, let the down be covered. If you're showing the bottom, let the top be covered. If you're showing the back, cover the front or add some detail in the front to kind of give it that 360 look. So that's always like something that I have in mind anytime I'm designing. Like if I'm showing something up, we gotta cover the bottom.
So I don't know if any of you have visited the shameless plug again, Baltimore Fashion Week site, but on the site there is a look booklet, and in the look booklet, Abigail is the first designer. Once you get past the fashion, I think she's like page number 6. No,
Mhm.
one, two, three. No, she's page number 4, because you don't count the cover sheet. But go check out her dress. The red dress that you made. What material was that? Was that leather or snakeskin
That
or
that was a stretchy fabric. I can't remember what.
really the
Yeah,
red
it was.
one?
Yeah, it was a stretchy fabric. It was. I think it was a polyester stretchy fabric. Yeah.
Where do you shop?
That
No, you don't have
funny
to
enough.
tell us. Just
No,
maybe.
funny enough, that dress I did it for my best friend. The model in there was my best friend. Hey boo. Um, it was for her birthday shoot. She told me I think a week or two. And I think it was the same week that she was gonna do the shoot that she told me I don't have a dress for my shoot. But can you whip up something? I was like, all right, send me the money for the fabric. I was in the store. I took pictures. I was like, okay, which one do you like? All right, pick it up. Came home probably within less than 24 hours. That
You
dress
made
was
the dress, finished and all, zipper,
yeah,
embellishments, all that was
yeah,
done in less than 24 hours.
yeah. And she was actually, I think, was she sitting here when I completed it? No, it was the gold one that I did for her that she was actually sitting once I made it.
But the red one that's in the booklet
Mm-hmm.
is, I love it. It's really
Yeah,
pretty. And
yeah,
she
yeah,
was that the image from her shoot, her birthday shoot?
yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
It's
the
really,
image from
really
the
pretty.
yeah.
So here comes another shameless plug, y'all. So y'all should go to Baltimore-fashionweek and check out
I
all of
love it.
the booklets.
I love it.
So Abigail, tell them where they can find you. Wait a minute, I'm not doing my job. Please don't fire me.
Where you
That
can
should have been
find
up a long time ago. You had all these comments coming in there, just like, I don't know what to do. It's just so much, which is so cool. The love and support here is just
right. You can
amazing.
find me on Instagram at Lordson Banini. And this is the high end brand. But I have another brand that
Oh,
is
wait. Wait a minute, you have a high end and a medium end? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's talk about this Okay, so the whole interview we just did was about the
Was the
Howard
high end?
brand, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so let's talk about the other end brand. Let's talk about that. What
The,
is that
the
made
other
of?
one,
And why am I just finding out about this? You get another
because
point.
I'm
Hold
still.
on, I'm taking Abby.
Actually, that was the other brand, which is House of Afi. Was actually
Oh,
the friend
okay, I
that
see.
started.
Okay,
Yes,
this is your email
and
address. Okay.
yes.
Hmm.
That's my email address, houseofafi@gmail.com, and it's House of Afi on Instagram. The concept for that brand is to have like it's more like a clothing brand, but it's not custom made. We can do some custom made, but I want to be like limited, ready to wear, where you can walk in. Like let's say you got a last minute call that you have to be at an event or you're going somewhere, you can come in and get your outfit from head to toe and then be out.
So the shirt
That
you made, did you make the shirt you have on?
no, this one it was a gift when I went back home to Ghana. This was a gift.
Oh, I love gifts. That's so cute. Okay, so yeah, I know. I'm sorry, y'all. So you have a question. How about property branding and rights?
Property brand.
You
Okay.
know, you went to
So
school with that.
right now the brand is registered and I'm in the process of copywriting the name of the brand and making sure like anything I put out there, our logo is on it or our name is on it, so that no one copies it and makes it their own. So that's one thing I'm also working
Yeah, that's a process.
on. Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. It gives me a headache. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying about that. And when you
Yeah.
have more than one brand, the headaches just gets bigger, and you need more Aleve, and it's just like, my God, somebody please pray for me. But yeah, enough about me and on to you.
No problem. Our website is coming out soon though.
Uh-oh, coming soon. So online.
Yeah, working on the website. I don't want to put something mediocre out. I want it to be perfect. So
Well, it should be. It should be. So
yeah.
what is your take on business cards? Do you still carry them, or because we're in a mobile society,
I
you're
still
more
carry my
likely to
business card. I
phone
have a
number?
couple out here. I still carry my business card. I was actually about to design. I have one for House of Afi. I'm actually in the process of designing one for Lordson Banini because I want it to be two different ones.
Okay. When you say two different, will it be two separate cards, or one where you
Yeah.
flip the back and the front?
Um. Ooh, that's a good idea.
That's what
Okay.
I do, honey. Save your coins.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good
Save
idea.
your coins.
I think I'm gonna do that.
Dual branding.
I think I would do that.
I won't even charge you for that. You know why? Because you're a member. I won't even charge you
Yes.
for that. You can
Thank
have
you. Thank you.
that, girl, back and
I
front.
think I'll
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Front and back, back and front. Okay.
Right.
Um, this has been really. Does anybody else have any other questions for Abigail, while she's here? Um, they had a lot of questions.
once once you're putting that question out there, I have one huge announcement
Uh
that I want
oh.
to make. I think I was telling you this before we even came live that I wanted to do something with some of our models for the show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um I'm gonna do like a soft launch of Lordson Banini on my birthday. So I'm still working on that. It's gonna be in October, so be on the lookout for the
Wait a minute.
flash
When is your birthday? October what?
16th.
Oh, I'm the 31st. Are you still?
Ooh,
No, you're
no,
not.
Libra.
Uh, you're still cool though. You're still
Yeah.
October baby. And you went to school in my birthplace, so California. So you're good.
Okay. Which part of California?
Oh, girl, it's not my space. It's not even there no more. But I
Okay.
heard it's not there. Barstow, California.
Hmm.
I was born on an army base, which isn't there
Oh,
anymore.
on the army base. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, October the 16th is your birthday. So,
Yeah.
oh, you just said that, and they put it in the feed. Okay, so let's put it. So, everybody send Abigail a birthday gift. As I say this, I better not
Yeah.
forget that that's your birthday.
Thank you. So yeah, when they go on our Instagram, there's our phone number is on there, our PO box is there. So
Okay, good. Hold on. Now, your website, when will that be live?
we are hoping by the end of the year to be live with Lordson Banini. Because
Okay.
after the launch, that'll be the next thing we'll work on. And
Okay.
then House of Afi, that one will come a bit later because I want to work on like a ready to wear for House of
Mhm.
Afi. So I have the fabrics for it. I just need to get the manpower for that. So
So, and you're ready to wear. What are you going to specialize in? Which pieces, without going into deep detail, which pieces
mhm.
are you going to brand first, or the type, the style?
It's gonna be ready to wear, but also the ready to wear that you can wear to like events. We
Okay.
have like separates like a top and a skirt, a top and a pants, or a dress or a jumpsuit, like those pieces. So it's gonna be fashionable, ready to wear. It's gonna be limited also, because if it runs out, it runs out. That's it. Unless you want it in a different fabric, then maybe we can talk about that. But if it runs out, that's
I love your brows. I'm sorry, y'all, but I've been looking at Abby's brows the whole interview.
it. Thank you.
They're like so on point.
Really?
I'm not even gonna show y'all my brows. Don't even look. Don't
I was
even.
like, I need to touch up my makeup before I came on. I
They
didn't
look
get the
good.
time. Thank you.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous right now. They really look okay. So back to you, off your brows and onto you. So does anybody have any other questions for Abby? We know that her birthday is soon, October 16th. Mine is the 31st. So it's on Halloween. So none of you. Oh, someone says you should have House of a Fee Brown, a Browse. How you pronounce AFI? How do you pronounce it?
Happy.
Afi.
Yes.
House of Afi Brows. I'll be your first customer. And if,
Also, my
and if
pictures.
you
Okay.
incorporate microblading, I'm here for all of it.
Microblading. Oh Lord, I have not even tried that.
I heard it's the thing, but woo,
Yeah,
it's very.
I know a couple people who have done it when I was in Cali. They've done it and it actually looks nice. But it's more so like the maintenance of it. I'm like, you have to always go after a couple of months or years to redo it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm good with the little bit I have. I think I'm good.
Right.
I just go ahead and covers it, and we're good. So, Abigail Lordson Banini, this has been so awesome.
I
I
had so
thank
much fun.
you. I
Thank
thank you for
you.
your time. Um,
You.
it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I'm
And
working
thank you for keeping me on my toes. I'm telling
right.
you. You're listening. Thank you for keeping me on my toes. Listen.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, girl. I get in it.
She don't play.
I
If you're
do.
late, she don't play like, okay, send it now or you out.
You were not supposed to tell people that. Oh my God, Abby.
I'm like, I'm
She
like,
lying.
okay.
Oh, she lying. She is such a
No, like
fiddler.
you actually keep me on my toes because
She is
you
a
make me make time,
fiddler.
make me put more time into what I'm doing. So
So
I
it's
really
funny you say that
appreciate it.
because I'm with that with all the designers. Like if you make it in, you're in for a reason.
Right.
And so I just expect the best because I can see it. And not only can I see it, I'm also multitasking or multi-thinking in my brain. Like,
Right.
okay, I know this person that would be good to, move her to her next level. So that's what I do also. So I'm also working on that. And for the show next year. We talked about that before the show, before we started your interview, and I'm really excited for the designers, especially the ones from this year, because the interviews have been getting so many good reviews, and people are they're just really, really, really excited. They're really excited for the designers. And this interview, my God, I think we just set a world record. Comments. I'm like, okay, is this one of my personal Facebook feeds or what? It's just so organic and
Yeah.
it's so real. and you talking about college and the fashion school and
Yeah.
the tech packs. Because I was told that a tech pack is a line sheet. And I'm like, no, because Google says differently. But I
Right.
guess because I wasn't a designer, they
The
think
line sheet is mostly like the first page. The
right.
line sheet is like the first page. You're showing the manufacturers, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like.
Mhm.
This is what I'm expecting. And also in the tech pack, they include what kind of stitching they want.
Oh wow.
Yes. I do have like
Wait,
a
wait, wait.
here.
Wait. What do you mean stitching?
Let me show you one thing.
She's right up in the book, y'all. Oh, happy birthday to, because I probably forget on the 16th to sing happy birthday to Abby. So I'm gonna do it now. Happy birthday to back. No more singing. She's back.
So I have this piece of fabric, right? And it has different stitching on it. So this one is a 5 thread overlock. The one up here, the
Are
gray
they
one.
2 piece stitches?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
this the gray one here is a 5 thread overlock, and then the next one, because the back there's another like line, and the next one this is how the back looks like, but in the front, and this
Let
is
me,
the
let me
double
get you on
needle,
full screen here. Okay, go. Go ahead.
and this is the double needle overlock, and this is what they actually use to hem like t-shirts, like knit fabrics.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
always this stitch that you use. You always see like the two lines in the bottom of a shirt, but then when you flip in the back, this is what you see.
I've seen that.
Hmm. So if you're like, let's say for instance, I'm sending them a tech pack for this shirt, I'll
Right.
tell them, okay, the sleeve, I want it to be clean finish double needle overlock. So the double needle and then the overlock right there. So you tell
Wow.
them what stitch you want, and these are all different stitches. I named them so that this is what I used when I was creating like tech pack and sending comments to the factories, so that I can know, okay, this is the stitch I need. So yeah.
So how do you select which? Girl, I thought I was going to end this, but I got all the time in the world to pay to count, so we're going to do this. So how do
Select
you
stitch.
select the manufacturer that you want to work with? I'm quite sure it's a
Uh,
process for that too.
there's a process for that. Some of the manufacturing companies, um, the production companies, the companies that I worked with, they had their manufacturers already, but they have a production team that if the manufacturers are like overwhelmed with work, they also look out for manufacturers. And sometimes they make a trip down to the countries, either China, Bangladesh, what other countries that they usually go to. Um, you don't go to Japan. It's mostly China, and Bangladesh is one country that they go to once a while. They go there and also kind of serve through the manufacturers there. And funny enough, some manufacturers in China and all those places have a rep here in the States. So their rep goes out to these production companies to kind of tell them, okay, we have these manufacturers that we work with. If you're looking for someone to do so and so for you. So then the production company will say, okay, we're going to try couple styles from this season with you guys. Let's say we're doing 10 10 garments. We're going to try 3 of the garments with you guys, and let's see how the outcome is. If we
Oh,
like the outcome, then we'll add more. If we
oh,
don't like the outcome, we'll take our thing back and give it to who we knew that they're able to deliver.
so that's when the sample process comes into play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do the sample fitting, you can go through them like 4 times, but we usually try to keep it to like 3 minimum or 3 maximum. If it passes 3, then we have an issue.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
I'm assuming the issue isn't good, is it?
I don't know if I'm allowed to put this out there because there was one company, one of these big companies
Don't say
that
the name. Don't
I'm
say the
not
name.
gonna say the name.
Please,
One of
God.
these
I
big
love
companies.
my channel. Do not say the name. Thank you. Continue.
One of these big companies that we manufacture for, and we're doing the plus size, a raglan top. It was a basic raglan top. The raglan is the sleeve that goes from the armhole to the neckband, where the sleeve itself starts from here down.
Hmm.
And for the plus size one, the one that we like, we'll do it, we'll send them a sample and they say it's wrong. We'll send them another sample, they say it's wrong. We're like, okay, what's the problem here? So we try to fix it. We send another sample. We to the point that I even took the pattern to school and said and presented it to my teacher and said, like, help me fix this issue so that I can get this right. We fixed it and we brought it to our sample maker. They made another sample. We sent it to them and they're like, nah, we're gonna cancel this order.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when a company puts in an order, if you're not able to deliver on time, they can let's say you give them a delivery date. Let's say the delivery date is 8/16, which is like today, and you don't deliver on 8/16, they can ask for a discount.
Oh, okay. You can't get a full refund back?
Mm-mm.
Oh, because they've already done some of the work. Well, how do you know they've done any of the work if they just say
Yeah,
they haven't sent
they'll
you
tell
anything?
you if the if let's say the shipment is on the way, but it did not arrive the time that they tell you it's gonna
Oh,
arrive,
got it, got it, got it.
ask for a discount if you've
Okay.
already approved it. But there's one brand, I'm not gonna mention names,
Please, God,
that
don't. Okay.
people that people dread to work with because you can finish production and they'll tell you they're canceling order.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was one brand that like the two companies that I worked with whilst I was there never wanted to work with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we have a manufacturer here, and I'm gonna see if I can get him to come on my other podcast, a
Right.
moment with Karen, and see if he'll talk about the wholesaling practice, not wholesaling,
Right.
manufacturing process that they do here
Hmm.
in Baltimore, which I
Right.
think is pretty cool because a lot of people don't even know. I don't think they know
Mhm.
that.
I didn't know we have a manufacturer here in Baltimore.
See,
'Cause
see,
I was
I'm
looking at I was looking at
girl. I
I was
am
looking at
your
New York
girl.
and California. I was like, maybe I have to make a trip down to
No,
Cali.
no. Hey, Shannon will appreciate this. I am that woman. Okay.
Okay.
She's hours.
All right.
Um, so I'll get him to come on and I'll do my blast like I normally do for all our
Right.
subscribers so they can join in. But I think that's critical because he's worked with was it Ralph Lauren? I know it's Diane von Furstenberg. He worked with her, their brand, Lacoste, and who else? Calvin Klein, and I can't think of the other one. It's a two more that I can't remember, but I'll bring him on here, and he'll
Okay.
remember them because it's his business.
Right.
This has been so awesome. You are so awesome.
No, you made it comfortable
Dress,
for me. You know when I was talking about I was
can I have
nervous?
the dress?
Is that
Can I have the dress? You heard me. Can I have the dress?
sure? Why not?
She only said yes, y'all, because you know I can't fit it. These kinds are not going in that waist, honey. Mm-mm.
We can make one just for you.
Oh, well, I'll pay for it. Trust me, I'll pay for it.
Okay.
Because I know how it is running a business, and
Right.
girl, it's not easy. But does anybody, before we end, because we are about to end, does anyone, let me scroll and see if there are any questions that I may have missed. I don't think so. A lot of them were questions or statements. And when you go back, hold on, do you consider African? Okay, here's one. Do you consider African print? Oh, let me put on the screen. Do you consider African print and Asia design as desirable?
An Asian design?
Your Asian designs, like I guess creations, or
Uh,
the I don't know.
oh yeah, I think that is what
Ambrose wrote that question, so you can
that's
get.
my dad. Hey dad. um, I think right now if you look at most of these big designers that we have out here, their their inspiration are mostly from African prints
Hmm.
and other countries.
Hmm.
like Asia being one of them. Um, I don't know how to put it, but like every style that you look at, there's something about us that is in it. It's like we influence it, but we don't get the credit for it.
Right.
Yeah. But I think it's very desirable.
So how important? Here's another question. It's
Mhm.
completely off the cuff, and then we really are going to go.
Right.
How important are press releases to you and what you do in the fashion industry?
How important now what?
Press releases.
Hmm. 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 When it comes to designing, it's very important. I say they're very important because you wanna it's hold on, I'm trying to understand your question. In terms of like
So,
giving credit,
well, no. So for us, so what I've noticed in businesses, period,
right.
and for some reason, and as I say this, I need to just shoot myself in my little eyeballs because I was very remiss in writing our press releases this year, but I usually write all of them. And
Hmm.
for me, it's a way to get the word out on a minimal budget.
Hmm.
And so in your, and I don't know if designers, I know one designer that does it religiously, but in what you do, and as you're building your brand and the building, you're creating your legacy, will
Hmm.
press releases be an important part
But
of that development?
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's very important to add press releases in your brand because you want to let the customers in on what your brand is all about. Sometimes when a customer buys from a brand, they're not buying, let's say the garment, they are buying into the story of the brand. So you want to bring them kind of in into like what is going on behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Um, it's not always rosy, and if you want to like share or some of the unrosy moments, it could make the client or the future customer or your customers that you already have feel some connection about what
Mhm.
you're doing. So let's say you tell a story about a garment that you had a lot of struggles with, but it came out. They can put in an order and say, "Hey, I know this designer struggled with this, but look at how bomb this outfit look."
Right.
So that would be like the story that they carry along, and they act like, let's say for instance, somebody asks you, "Where did you get the outfit?" "Well, I got this outfit from here." It's like, oh, it's cute, but you know how this person came up with this?
Mhm.
Then they are telling your story to somebody else.
Mhm.
Then they get interested. Then they want to now kind of look at, okay, what
Mhm.
are you doing? What is going on? So it's the story of the brand is very important. So in order to do that, you have to get some press releases out
So if the, I'm moved so y'all can see my top that I can't fit.
there. That's cute though. Is that a bolt in the bottom?
It is, but I can't fit it. I'm so fat. It's my it's a I'm sorry, y'all. I just need 2 minutes of your time to talk about me. So it's a, it has a bow right here. It's really cute and it comes to the
That's
side.
cute.
It's my dream top. I bought it and couldn't fit it,
That's
and
so
I'm gonna keep
cute.
it. I'm not giving it away. One day I'm gonna fit the
So
top. And when
cute.
I fit it, I'm gonna go live on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
My old self, girl, please. But it will look really cute. I might give it away, but it looks really, really cute with a pair of jeans, probably a
Hmm.
pair of distressed jeans, and maybe a
Yeah.
pair. You gotta wear
Yeah.
a pump, like a yellow pump or a
Yeah.
cobalt blue pump. That would be so hot. So
Yeah.
I'm just thankful that one I had. Where's my mouse? Okay, here because you got some new comments. Hold on, let's see what people are saying. Um, I'm learning a lot about the fashion industry. They just love you.
Oh, thank you.
It was such an awesome interview. I was really, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all.
I
So I
was
was
nervous.
really like, oh my God, what are we gonna talk about? I only talked to her maybe 2 or 3 times during the whole process. Like, oh my God, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing it and be me. And this is fabulous. Oh my God, I think it's one of the most one of the interviews with the most comments. This is really awesome. So I
Oh,
want to interview
my
you.
fam came through. Yes, I love it.
I ain't fooling with her, y'all. I ain't fooling with her. But Abigail is she's so humble, and I can tell that from the interview, that you're really humble, but you're very passionate about your collection,
Right.
and that you want to get it right the first
Yeah.
time. And just for you to pull out those different stitches, I'm in
Right.
awe. I'm like, girl, you can sell nothing under $150.
Uh,
Cause
no.
you know stitches
But
like
yeah, for Lordson Banini, there's nothing under 150.
oh yes. This found. Okay. So get the coins ready, y'all. Okay. I love that I have this access to all this creativity. It's so awesome.
Right.
So we're going to end the interview right now with a dialogue or a happy hour, whatever this was. It was so awesome.
Thank you.
Abigail, tell them again where they can meet, where they not where they can meet you, but where they can get in contact with you to get their next custom look.
Okay. I'm on Instagram on Lordson Banini. That's at Lordson Banini. And you can send me an email on houseofafi@gmail.com. And if you don't get me on Lordson Banini, you can also find me on House of Afi at House of Afi. No apostrophe, no period. It's all together on Instagram and on Facebook.
So, ladies, if you want that dress, the holidays are coming. Although in some places we're still safe distancing, we still need to be fly while we safe distance. Contact Abby, and she can hook you up. No matter your size, forget your self esteem. Let's put that to the corner for a minute, and we're going to go to I'm going to say Abby. We're about to go to Abby, and she's going to hook us up. So I love a good pencil skirt, so I'll be calling you soon. Okay.
All right.
So yay. So do you
All
have any
right.
last parting words for anyone
Just to
so
thank
that
everyone for coming. My dad is on here, so I know he's on here because he's me asking questions. Hi, Daddy. I love you.
who's dad? Which one is dad?
I'm Bruce Lawson Banini, the one with my same last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my prayer sisters, descendants of Zion. Hi, I love y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And my sister Hetty, I know she's on here because she also asked a question. Thank you, sis. And I don't know if my intern is still on here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time and sacrifice in helping this come together. If you need anything, you know who I am. Um, who else? There are a lot of people. I don't know if Gina is on here. This is also one sister who, when I need advice on something or I need a second opinion on design, she's the person I contact. So hi Gina, I love you. Thank you for all that you do for me. Um, I don't know if my mom is on here, but thank you, mom, for being on my butt. Sometimes I get so busy with work that in a day or two she doesn't see me in the studio sewing. Then she asks me, when is the show again? I'm like, I got this. I'm coming. So thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you. Thank you. And if I haven't mentioned your name, please forgive me. But I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Hi, G. Oh, I see. She commented. Yes. Thank you all so much. I love you from the bottom.
Oh,
And
this is
thank you,
so
Shane. I'm
awesome.
not forgetting about you. Thank you.
What? What?
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
For the
oh.
effort.
You're welcome. This
Thank
is
you.
just, this is just a good time to not do what I need to be doing, which is my other two websites. So thank you for the welcome interruption. Um, I'm just so happy that you allowed me to step into your life and tiptoe around your passion a little bit. I like to do that. I don't know why I do that. It's like a little rabbit. I don't know why I do that. But just to tiptoe around your passion a little bit and to inspire someone else that maybe was thinking about becoming a designer, because there's so many myths and
Yeah.
stories out here of people starting And I'm just so, I did not know all that you had under your belt until now.
Yeah.
Because when we
Yeah.
interviewed, I don't think I even
It's
asked
most of
you.
the program that I took when I was in school. Because the program that I took gave me the background on the manufacturing process. I didn't take fashion design
Okay.
itself. I
Okay.
took apparel industry management.
Oh,
So
okay.
fashion
Okay.
design itself doesn't show you all the tech pack and all of that. But apparel design management shows you all the ins and out from sketch to finishing. Basically, so that if you want to like own your own clothing brand, if you want to manage a clothing company, you know the ins and out.
No, I'm sorry. Somebody said they love me, girl. I had to be, hi, thank you.
That's my dad.
Yay! Okay. All right.
But
I'm
yeah,
so
I
silly.
wanted to know the ins and out, the business of
Mhm.
fashion, because I felt like with when it comes to the designing, I'm more so like self-taught. I can take the basics and then turn it into what I want. So I just wanted to know how the business side of it, so that way when I'm running the business or have someone running it for me, when something goes wrong, I know where something goes wrong and I can step in and do it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, Ronnie, do you think? Okay, I know y'all. I said we was going to end. I know. I'm sorry, but blame it on Abby because she keep talking and more questions keep coming.
Sorry,
And I
y'all.
was-
Sorry.
that's so sorry.
Sorry.
But for those of you who do have to
Yeah.
go, we thank you for stopping by. This
Thank
is not
you.
over yet. Okay. So, being a designer running a business, do you think it's important that you know every aspect? There go the rabbit
Oh yeah.
again. Every
Yeah.
aspect of your.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very important. It's very important because one, you want to know if you're going to do manufacturing, you want to know like every little thing, so that way when the manufacturer is making a mistake, you can catch it and then have them correct it. Because sometimes I won't lie to you, sometimes these manufacturers just do whatever they want
Oh
and send it.
wow.
Yes. There's a time that we send them a design where the hem is supposed to go in like a arc shape, and it came back looking like this.
Oh
We're like,
wow.
oh, that wasn't what we asked for. We even sent you a sample. So what is this? So you always have to know like a little. If you don't know the details, just like the basics of everything will help you.
And I guess it's key to know that the manufacturing part of the business too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, you're
That
like
if you want to go
amazing.
into manufacturing. Yeah.
Not like you are amazing. This is
Thank
so enlightening for me. I learned so much. I just want to get the sewing machine that's down here on the floor and start sewing, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna come to y'all because that's not my lane. I know how to sew and construct the
you.
garment, but I got y'all now. I don't need to do that.
No
Praise
problem.
God. Amen. Y'all. God. So this is the end of our fun time with Abby. I should say
Thank
happy
you.
times with Abby. And so we're going to end tonight. And I wish we could talk more, but they got this new show coming on HBO. The
Yeah, I
school.
also have to get on a prayer line in like 15 minutes.
Okay, so Mama's got stuff to do. Unfortunately, I won't be on the prayer line, but please continue to pray for me.
No problem.
And see, prayer. See, I'm a firm believer that no matter how I gotta watch how I say this while I lose all of my likes. There's a spiritual presence
Hmm.
around us at all times. And some people
Right,
say universe, like you'll hear me say on Facebook or Instagram. I'm usually on Facebook, like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. And then one time
right,
I got an invite, why are you using Jesus? He doesn't exist. And
right,
that conversation didn't go good for that person. Let's just say
right.
that. And I'm a firm believer that I didn't get here
Hmm.
from nothing. I had
Right,
some type of force making sure that I walked on the right pathway and all
right,
that. And I can see that it's
right.
very evident with you.
Oh
Way
yeah,
before you talked
definitely.
about the prayer line in 15 minutes.
Even if I'm making a garment for someone, in the midst of it, I'm praying for the person I'm making the garment
Oh wow.
for.
Dang, I got another question, but we gotta go.
Yeah. We gotta go.
I'm gonna email you and ask
Okay,
you a
no problem.
question because I don't want to lose likes.
Maybe we can have a part two.
Oh my God, that's a date. That is a date.
Okay,
So the next when we do the next one, I'm gonna write down all of my questions.
no problem.
We're gonna go live, and people can join. And because I got more questions, but you got the
No
prayer line
problem.
and I got the HBO show coming on.
No
Okay, I
problem.
need a drink because this was amazing. My mind is racing for
Right.
next year's show. Like I'm serious. Like the ideas are just they're crazy. Would you? Okay, so I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna end because I can do that. Would you be interested in doing a class next year during Fashion Week to
I
talk
don't mind.
about? You said
I'm
yes.
in.
Ah!
You didn't even have to finish. I'm all in.
So we have LaVincent's class and now we have yours. So we'll talk soon because I got to meet with the production people next week to talk
Okay.
about all of that stuff. Whew,
All
Lord
right.
Jesus. But anyway, my name is Sharon Nixon. I'm the founder and lead producer for Baltimore Fashion Week. And to my left or my right, depending on how you're looking at the screen, is Abigail Lordson Banini. Awesome, awesome, awesome person and exceptional designer. So if you need anything for the holidays parties coming up, please check her out. Her IG information, wait a minute. Her IG information is at the bottom of the screen. And you know, IG is open 24/7. So send her a message and happy purchasing. So
All
I
right.
thank you, Abigail. You have anything you want to say next?
No, I love you all.
Oh, yeah. I'm such a dragon. I can't even make a heart shape. I'm such a
Love
dragon.
you. Oh, you close.
Yay!
That's good.
Yay! I got it. So bye, y'all. See you next time.
Bye.
See you next Sunday. Um, I see you
What's
next
next
Sunday for a
Friday?
moment with Sharon as we interview Debbie Katzenberger, who owns a nonprofit. It's going to be cute.
Okay.
Cute. Tune in.
I'll be on there.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, this is the part. This should be a blooper because I can never end it on time. Okay, I got it. Bye.